Welcome to the series where I test out money-making methods from the OSRS Wiki. Feel free to leave suggestions on which moneymaker you'd like to see next. And also, if you didn't already know, I have a nice playlist that I've created that has all of the previous moneymakers that I've already tried, so go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. With that being said, let's get into the video. So for today's video, I thought we'd go ahead and visit a recommendation from quite a long time ago. Now, I did do the first one a couple months ago, and that was to pick Flax for an hour, and that was more of a meme moneymaker. Nobody really does that. There's a lot better moneymakers you could do that have no requirements as well. So this is just the alternative to that, I guess, which is turning the Flax into bowstrings. And I'd say that this is actually a pretty normal moneymaker. It's not the most money, but as for the requirements, I mean, it's pretty decent. You don't even need a lot of startup cash. You can just buy however much Flax you can afford and then turn it into bowstring, sell off the bowstring, and then keep doing that for some nice profit. And you even get a little bit of crafting XP in the process as well. Now, as for the gear setup, really you can wear whatever you want or nothing at all. I'm pretty sure this graceful that I decided to bring wasn't even necessary, but I did want to be as light as possible so that I could regain my stamina. And as long as you're at 0 kilograms, you're good. Anything below that really isn't necessary, but of course the graceful does help since the Flax does have a weight to it. Besides the graceful, I also brought my ring just in case I need to use a stamina boost. The ring actually gives me 3 recharges per day, and that is the Lumbridge and Draenor Elite Diary reward. So yeah, if you have that, it's pretty nice, but again, you don't need it. And then as for the inventory, just a full inventory of Flax will do. You'll be turning these 28 into 28 bowstrings, and you'll be pretty much repeating the process. Now, as for getting there, there's actually a bunch of different areas you can go to spin the Flax. The one that I'll be using is the most common because it doesn't have any requirements, and that is the one located in Lumbridge Castle. So I'll just be using the spawn teleport to get over here. And the spinning wheel is actually on the 2nd floor, and you might have seen it already. There tends to be a lot of bots doing this. Well, at least there was before. Right now there's only one person here, but it is a very heavily botted area, I do believe. And then once you're done turning the Flax into bowstring, you can come up here to the 3rd floor to bank. And that is pretty much it. All you'll be doing is just getting a full inventory of Flax from the bank, coming downstairs, clicking on the spinning wheel, and then hitting the 3 on the keyboard to make it into bowstring. After the first inventory, you can start using spacebar since it does remember the last option that you selected. And that is pretty much it. It's very straightforward, very easy to do. The only thing that I'd say that is kind of annoying, it's not even that big of a deal, but the door in this room does close like every 5 minutes. This might have been implemented to stop people from botting in this area, but I mean, you still see the bots here. They have no trouble opening up the door, so yeah, it's kind of an annoyance, but again, it's really not that big of a deal since it only happens every few minutes. Besides that, all you really have to worry about is climbing up the stairs. Usually you can just right click on it and hit climb up. If you left click on it, it'll ask you, it'll open up a separate window saying, do you want to go up or down? So if you want to be truly efficient, then definitely just right click on it. And as for efficiency, you can also use the escape key to close the bank interface. I do believe that's a setting in the regular client, or you can just click on the minimap to start running back on the stairs or running to the stairs. That'll also close the bank interface. And those are really the only spots that you can, I guess, maximize efficiency at, since the rest of this is very AFK. Once you click on the wheel to make the Flax, your character will just do a full inventory, and it will take quite a long time. I'd say close to a minute. So this is a very AFK and low requirement moneymaker. In fact, it is so AFK that I think there was maybe 1 or 2 trips where I actually forgot to bring Flax down here. I just kind of spaced out while doing this. It's a very chill moneymaker, and it's easy to kind of forget what you're doing, especially if your brain kind of goes on autopilot after a while. But yeah, earlier I did say that there was multiple spots that you could do this at. This is just the one that I decided to use since it had the lowest requirements, and if you're doing this moneymaker, it's probably because you don't really have high requirements for other moneymakers, so Lumbridge Castle is the best. But if you, for whatever reason, wanted to spin Flax when you had these other requirements, then you could definitely do that as well. As I just showed right there, you can use the spinning wheel in the crafting guild, but of course that requires you to either have the hard Falador diary done or 99 crafting to have access to the bank. The next spot is actually the one in Sears Village, and this is an interesting one because if you have the Kandarin medium diary done, you actually spin Flax 33% faster with this wheel. And if you have the hard Kandarin diary done, you can also use the teleport to go straight to the bank here, which will also speed it up. So I'm pretty sure that using this area is going to be the best for spinning Flax. Now, again, if you have those requirements, I don't see why you want to do this. Maybe as an Iron Man for fletching, but yeah, I don't know. Here is also another spot you can go to. It is the Tree Gnome Stronghold, and this one kind of has the bank quite far away from the spinning wheel, but the spinning wheels are actually close to Flax that you can pick. So if you wanted to pick Flax and spin it at the same time, or at least very close together, this would be a nice spot to do it at as well. But again, you don't need these spots. If you're doing this moneymaker, it's because you want something that is easy and low requirements, and Lumbridge is perfect for that. I mean, you don't need any requirements for that, and the bank is very close to the spinning wheel. Of course, you'll just have to buy or pick the Flax somewhere else, since there really isn't any Flax close to this spinning wheel. Now, when I was getting ready to make this video, I did buy the Flax for 5 GP each, which I do believe it's gone up a little bit. I remember it being like close to 3 GP, so that was interesting. But I found out that I didn't need to buy it because I already had like 5,000 Flax from Zulrah. So yeah, if you do Zulrah and you feel like making a little bit of extra money, then feel free to spin that Flax into bowstring. But I mean, let's be honest, if you have the requirements for Zulrah, I think you're just better off killing Zulrah for your money. And speaking of Zulrah, I have been doing a few kills here and there for Elite Clue Scrolls and for a chance at the pet and either of the 2 mutagens. Honestly, I kind of like the way the Tanzanite helm looks better, but I think I like the color more of the Magma helm just because it looks a lot better with bets and slot melee. So honestly, I'll be happy to get either one. And with that being said, that is the 1 hour of spinning this Flax. We did manage to spin 1,456, valued at close to 185,000 GP. We can now, of course, go to the GE and put it in there. I'm just going to put it in there for the actively traded price just to sell it off as quickly as possible. But if you're doing this, then definitely try to get a little bit more. And it didn't take longer than 2 minutes for all of it to sell. So you can definitely squeeze out a couple more GP if you wanted to. As shown here, we did manage to get 182,000 exactly. So not bad for a low requirement moneymaker. We can now go ahead and head over to the next screen to see how much we made exactly. So if we take the amount of money that it costs for the Flax, it was 7,280, subtract that from the total amount that we made, which was 182,000. We get a grand total profit of 174,720 GP. And not only did we make a nice amount of money, but we also got some crafting experience as shown here. We managed to get 21.8 thousand crafting experience as well. So yeah, overall, I'd say this is a pretty decent moneymaker, especially if you have a very low level account and you don't have a lot of money. This is a perfect way to make a little bit of startup cash. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe even a subscription. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode.